In Syria, we have this well-famous thing. It's food. It's the bread that is provided by the government. Many other socialist or communist influenced countries have this in common. In Syria, it used to mean to the Syrian people something more than food. First, literally, it's bread. It's cheap. Available for all social levels, high quality, delicious. Even the rich people, they prefer it. So it used to, by the years, it used to mean to the Syrian people something like stability and safety, independency. It's like as long as this bread is available, so it's okay, no matter what happens, wars, catastrophes, everything. So what happened in the last 4 years or 5 years, let's say, made us realize that the real bread or the real government bread is people, not the bread that we have in our hands. It's like when you want to build this safe, stable, free, independent country, or society or gathering, you want to work on the people who are the bricks for this wall, who are the sole basis for this big establishment. So that's why we chose this name with a little word play that we used, Khebez Dawle, that means government bread, to interpret it as people.
I would like to introduce my friends, the collaboration between a few bands. But first of all, come closer. Don't be afraid. Come closer.
Let's come closer, guys.
Come closer.
We all dream of this perfect country, perfect society, perfect, call it what you want. But in order to reach there, we have to work on ourselves and the people around us. So that's why people are the subject matter of our music or our art or anything that we would produce.
I will ask you all before the band play for 1 minute of silence for the people who died in Syria war. So please 1 minute and the band will start. Thank you. Thanks.
We just knew about the concert, yesterday or the day before. So, and we are, as I told you, we are a collaboration between many bands. So, we just got on the stage and played something on the spot. It was really overwhelming. I mean, whenever you had the chance to play something that is being created on the spot, it's the kind of thing that happens once in a lifetime. You cannot repeat it. That's the beauty of it.
From now it's 1 year. I can say it's 1 year. Yeah, it's been a long time. Last time was in Lebanon, Beirut, and it was my last concert with the guys as Khebez Dawle. Yeah, so it's been a while. It's been a long time, and it felt good coming back together and playing together. And like as an opening to Europe, this is the first time we play in Europe in a nice place like Kotina here. So it was a good experience. Yeah, the songs you can basically it's like an eyewitness of what was going on in Syria from the vision of 4 young people who were in Syria. They witnessed the events of what was going on during the war, and you can say that in the album you can find the songs that talks about this as an eyewitness, and by the end of the album it is just our own vision of how we see things, how it should be. not all of the people, not all men there have a clear vision. Like if they, it's really, they would interfere in this war or not. Because basically, imagine that you're shooting at your own brother. So this is the first thing that you would think about. You know, the war in Syria is between Syrian people, you can say, and some people from outside are interfering in things. But the thing is, it is like shooting your own brother, because mostly you can find people just following commands about some things, and many times it happened that a brother followed the army, and another brother went to the revolution because of to split it minds, and it happened that they encountered. So this is the thing. So when you think about it, and you know that back in Syria, the military service is not an option. You have to go. So it's not the war that anyone can fight, and it's not not anyone wanna go shoot others, or you don't know what to protect. What are you protecting? Like, I'm protecting my home from, and he's protecting his home. You don't know what's going on.
Plus, it got really complicated. You cannot call it even. I cannot call it Syrian war now, because you have many agendas, many people from outside, and it's not the Syrian. It's not a Syrian issue anymore. It's a space now. This little Syrian land it's a space for, in my own opinion, it's a space for all the world forces to fight and to negotiate on some stuff using forces that they support. So at this point you start to think about it. Is it really worth it to go through this and die for what? For the Russians or the Americans or the Gulf or for Iran? You're just a number on the table of negotiations between all these. It's been always like this in all civil wars. Like, the people are the fuel for the whole thing, and when they from outside decide that okay, we reached for an agreement, it magically ends and it starts to rebuild, and like in Lebanon, the civil war during the 80s and 90s. Plus, if I want to say something to the Europeans, there's a lot to say actually, but I could sum it up in few words that this is the situation now in Syria. Complete mess, one of the biggest crises since maybe the Second World War. It's not the place for us anymore. Musicians, artists, doctors, engineers, farmers, it's not the place for them anymore. So as a normal human action, they will try to find another place to be active in, to survive in. So what I can assure to the Europeans is that we are not people who are trying to come here and take your food or take your land or take anything. Like, I can assure you, we're just people who are trying to find another land on this big planet called Earth to be able to be active again and to be productive, to act as humans. Like, I wanna be engaged in a society here in Europe and get to a point where I'm active. I'm an active member there, and I add to the society. I add some value. I don't want to be just this parasite who just needs food and place to live and sit here while waiting some money.
Chances are more open here in Europe.
I mean, this is the last thing that we would think of right now. We just wanna. Sometimes I think I could. We managed to release an album in Beirut, which is not our country. Plus, it's really hard and complicated to survive in Beirut, to make living. I mean, it's one of the most expensive country. The Lebanese themselves, they cannot find jobs. So sometimes I think if we manage to make it there, then I have the confidence to say that I can do it anywhere else. I can survive anywhere else. So Like I put myself in the European shoes right now. I don't know how to convince, but let's see what will happen in the next.
It all started from Istanbul, Turkey, after we gathered all of us, the group that wants to go through this journey. It started from Istanbul. From Istanbul, you go to a point. The ones responsible to take you on the boat to Greece. We left by cars, by a van to a certain point in Turkey. I don't know the place of it as the location. We spent 2 days, and we had some issues on the way. Like one of the cars that were moving us, it stopped at the middle of the street because it got broken, and we had to sleep like a day on the side.
The police shouldn't know about the cars, shouldn't know about us in the cars, because
Yeah,
they would know that we are going to the smugglers.
yeah, they were closed vans, you can say.
So 26 people in one van, just sleeping on each other.
Yeah, explaining
It's
in
really
more
weird.
details, it was really difficult. You can barely breathe, and it was kind of dark, and people trying to sleep, it was difficult. And we had to sleep by the side of the street, just a normal street where you have a side forest. They stop all of a sudden, and go, these kind of things. We stayed
All in a
there
rush,
half
yeah.
a day, all in a rush, yeah. And you move to another point. You sleep another day at the forest, just waiting for this rubber boat, the dinghy, to leave. And all of these details are unexpected. We were told you have to wait for only 3 hours or 4 hours.
You get
on
there
the
and you
road
get the dinghy and
to
you
go- yeah.
take off.
But
So we did not take
some
semi
things-
bags, food, anything.
Yeah, food are less and water are less, and you have other groups with us. So when we finally got to the point, we slept only one day at the forest, and the next morning we woke up and they started talking to us like there's gonna be a dinghy and you're leaving soon. We saw a dinghy leaving, so we kept just watching them leave. They succeeded before us, and after almost 2 hours they said go, you need to go, and they just did not wait for anyone. Another surprise when we got to the point where we have to leave. Usually they make someone drive the boat, because if the driver got caught, it's gonna be really risky for him. He would be jailed for 3 years, I guess. And the thing is, from the group that we were in, no one intended to drive. But they suddenly said, you guys are alone now, no one is gonna drive, you have to pick one of you, I will teach him how to drive the engine, and what the fuck? All of this sounded like this. And yes, one of us at the group, they taught him how to drive the boat.
Good thing we were few. We were not
Yeah, we were kind of fewer than
the usual. Yeah.
The usual, you can say up to 40, 50 people with families.
Which is a
and
crime, actually, to
Yeah.
put such a number on this little. I
it's
don't
a
know how
small-
they do it.
It's only a 9 meters, like a rubber boat, or they call it a dinghy. and it can barely handle the amount of these people. And usually problems like this happen that the engine stops at the middle of the sea.
It's a network, so you like directly you just deal with the representative of the guy, usually Syrian.
No, how do you know who they are?
By friends, you know. We got this number of this representative. He's Syrian, he has a nickname. You just call him and say, okay, you have to use your guts, your trust, and you have to ask him
like this.
some question, and then especially you usually see the people that went with him before. If they usually arrive safe, then this is trustable, you know.
Like, this is trustworthy. This one, no, he failed many times. This is how it went.
But honestly, it was the easiest part. The part in the sea, I swear, it was the easiest of the whole journey, because given the fact, or have in mind the journey before from Istanbul to the spot, and then the journey from Greece all the way to Macedonia, Serbia, and then through the bush and fields and minefields to Croatia, the sea part was the easiest.
For us, it was something different, something we did not expect. We expected to land on somewhere we have to climb or just walk by something.
Yeah.
But we found some people waving at us, and we thought that they're waving that land somewhere else, don't land here. But they said no, land here. Oh, really?
They were really friendly and peaceful, and
Yeah.
especially when we got down and we said hello and we started speaking English, a language that they understand, and they saw us all happy, smiling. So they were really shocked.
We would
Are
be
you
happy.
really
We
smuggled, or
arrived.
you're just you're just doing some tourism in the sea? Usually they see a large number of people getting off the dinghy with sad faces and hysterical looks with children and stuff.
Because this is how it is. Yeah,
But they're surprised that 16 guys, happy, just joyful, and it's like fun, having fun in the sea. And then hello, and there was some musicians there.
Yeah, he was called Benjamin. There was a musician that welcomed us. He was called, hey, I'm a saxophonist as well. Yeah, we're musicians. Hi. So things got along, and after, like, we were extremely happy because at the middle of the sea, the engine stopped, and we were shoveling, and we have to move fast. So after the second time the engine worked and we reached the shore, it was like the most happy things for us. We landed safely.
So we started
the
to-
CDs
Yeah.
and introducing ourselves to the people as you usually do when you get somewhere new. So they were happy and we were happy about this.
So for them
Because-
it was like hysterical kind of comedy, like one band come out of the sea. It's like we're on a mission to give them the CDs and go back, you know? It happened in the police station in Ilok. We got friendly with the policemen, and at some point they started to to want to more to know more info about us. So we told them about the band and the page, and they checked it on YouTube in front of us, and they said, "Oh, really cool! You really have songs and stuff."
Yeah, this was
They did
funny.
not believe it because they
Checking
saw us
yourself out.
with mud and water and all dusty, and so they did not. And you're a band. What you doing here? So
Yeah, why would
so
you come?
I remember I give the CD to 2 or 3 policemen, and one of them was a rocker. Like
He was a
started
drummer,
to talk
yeah, he
about.
started talking about-
I was a drummer. I like thrash metal and some Swedish. I don't know. It was surreal. The scene. I remember this specific moment when he played the song on YouTube, one of the songs, and he started to listen. So I was just meditating on the whole thing that is happening. Like, I'm here detained, making this policeman who is detaining me listen to my song. This is victory.
Yeah, the
Like,
same
you know-
policeman, he said something really nice out of him when he, like after having the musical discussion and all these things, he said, "Man, music unites us all." I said, "Yes."
Yeah,
Because,
there were
you
some
know,
intense moments there. I
Yeah.
wish I could shoot them. Yeah.
the whole things like turned a little
Video.
bit at the room. We were all tense and things, and after some musical things and we listened to the song, yeah, things got different because you're starting to understand the other person in a different situation and in a different perspective. Like, you're a musician, me a musician, and we're normal people. But
Ironically-
because of some things like papers and procedures, you know, we have to be in a different situation. But as people, like, we're all the
Ironically,
same.
the song that he was listening to on YouTube in front of us, it's the 4th track in the album. It talks about something
Yeah.
about prison and victims and someone jailing someone, and
Yeah, this is funny actually.
it says that
I know.
something like the chorus says, in the darkness, no one can live but the jailer and the victim. But in the light, or when you free yourself, you can build home for everyone. You can build homes for everyone, whoever it was.
Yeah, free spirits build the homes for everyone.
Yeah, so he was listening and we were just looking at each other. Oh, this happens once in a lifetime.
Why Berlin? Basically, as the main reason is everyone knows Berlin for a musician or for an artist is the best destination.
It's an international capital.
Yeah.
You can say that.
And you know that Germany has special treatments and things for the Syrian refugees.
Facilities,
and, yeah. But for us personally, it's the best choice as musicians, as an artist. And
It's like the London that you can go to.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
London is a good choice as well.
they knew a bigger